What is going on, my fellow comic book readers, collectors, and enthusiasts alike? I am your host, Alt, here at Control Alt Defeat Comics, and it is not Monday, it is Tuesday. Unfortunately, I was unable to read all of my comics that I picked up from the previous week by yesterday, but I did get them all read today, so we are a day late and a dollar short, but we are still bringing you our weekly comic book review show. That is right. This is the show where I take you through an in-depth discussion, review, and just talk over everything that I have read from the previous new comic book day. These being the comic books that released, I believe it was Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right on into this video. But before we do, as I always do, I'm going to go ahead and issue you a spoiler alert, spoiler warnings ahead. If there are any comics that you picked up but have not read yet from Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, and you do not want to be spoiled on what the contents of those comic books are, go ahead and click off of this video. If you want to come back after you've caught up, that would be awesome. If you just want to check out other videos that I upload, that is more than okay too. If you just want to see what all I picked up for the week and don't necessarily want to hear my thoughts and opinions on them, you can go ahead and check out my new Comic Book Day vlog, linked down in the description below. With that being said, I'm assuming if you are watching after this point in the video, you are okay with the spoilers. So let's go ahead and get right on into this with our pick of the week. And this week's pick of the week is an independent comic, which means we're going to talk about the independent stack first. There's only 4 comics in the independent stack to talk about, and one of them didn't technically come out last week, but I'm still going to talk about it because I picked it up last week. But our pick of the week for last week goes to Ordained. This is issue number 2. This story is so good. I love the main character here, this priest whom... Essentially, the story of this is a priest who gets called into a big, mobster's deathbed, essentially, and he gets a deathbed confession from this big gangster, this big crime lord or whatever, and then the guy makes a full recovery and starts sending his men after this priest because, well, now he knows all of his, criminal whatnots and what have you, so... overall, really, really good. Really enjoyed this comic a lot. I thought that the story in here is wonderful. I thought the art in here is really good as well. Who is the artist on this one? It is... I don't know if they have a credits page, actually. I don't think they do. Oh, they do. It's actually at the end here. It is Trevor Hairsine. Harsine? Hairsine. Your art is really good. Really enjoy that quite a bit. Overall, this is just a lot of fun. I don't know for sure. I've heard that this is only going to be a 3-issue series. I've also heard that this has gotten picked up for a movie or a live-action series or something like that. So I'm really excited about that. But overall, I thought this issue was an absolute 10 out of 10. Could not put this down. It was so good. I loved it. I can't sing this one's praises enough. This story's been a lot of fun. I hope it's more than 3 issues. I hope I'm wrong about that, honestly, because I loved it. Next up on the independent comics, we have got Transformers issue number 30. This is a phenomenal series. I have loved Transformers so much. I loved it when Daniel Warren Johnson was doing it. I have loved it since Robert Kirkman has taken over as well. I'm really sad to hear that this was the last issue with Dan Mora on arts, though. I am bummed about that, because Dan Mora has done such a killer job on the arts for these stories. And I mean, this issue is no different. I mean, just look at some of the arts in this. And the story behind this is phenomenal as well. We get Elita 1 basically confronting Prime, and Prime gives up, Optimus gives up being Optimus Prime and gives her the matrix of leadership at the end of this issue, making her Elita Prime and making him just Optimus. That was, I never, you could have given me a million guesses and I never would have guessed that would be how this issue was going to turn out. It's crazy. It's insane to me. I mean, I for sure thought, given everything with Spike and whatnot in the Matrix of Leadership, that Optimus would have the Matrix the entire series. So the fact that he no longer has it is very interesting, and also makes me curious if Elita is going to be connected, if she's going to end up interacting with the Matrix of Leadership and Spike. So we'll see. But overall, loved this issue. Another absolute 10 out of 10. The Energon universe is always firing on all cylinders, and this was absolutely no exception. Which, I mean, I didn't expect it to be, but it didn't disappoint, that's for sure. Next up on the Independent Comics, we have got issue 1 and 2 of the same series. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about both here. We've got Dork. This is issue number 1. This is the reprint, and then we got issue 2 here. Issue 1 was a really fun issue. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give issue number 1 a solid 9 out of 10. And I thought issue number 2 actually continued that steam incredibly well. The whole story with this has been a lot of fun, so I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10, actually. I thought number 2 was even better than the first issue, so I am all in on this. I missed out on the first issue, which is why I had to pick up the second printing, but I have corrected that mistake now, and we are here with it. So that is it for the Independent Comics. We are going to now move our way on to Marvel Comics, actually, here. And the top of the stack for Marvel this week is going to go to Hulk Smash Everything. This is issue number 4. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. As I was saying, this is Hulk Smash Everything, issue number 4. This was such a phenomenal issue. This essentially opens up with our Hulk going after the leader, after the leader had sent him into the after he had sent him into a black hole previously. We essentially see the leader end up getting help from Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Mr. Fantastic to try and figure out how to stop the Hulk. Eventually we get basically all of the Avengers become summoned by Doc Strange to stop him. And basically what they decide to do is they take him and they trap him in portals where every time he tries to leave Antarctica, a portal opens and sends him back down. So what he decides to do instead is he just smashes the ground until he literally cracks the earth from Antarctica and starts releasing all of the volcanic fire of the inner core of the earth from the massive hole, essentially, that he has created. And it kind of sort of seems like he might have absorbed that power at the end. And of course we get this epic finale page where Hulk just basically says Hulk smash everything. And yeah, overall, really enjoyed this issue quite a bit. Has me very hyped for the next issue. Gonna go ahead and give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Next up on the Marvel list, we have got 1776. This is issue number 5. And was this the finale? I think this was the finale of this story as well, if memory serves here. It was, yes. And in this finale, we get to essentially see the heroes successfully defeat the sorceress who was trying to alter time. And overall, this was just a really fun story. Again, just a nice, enjoyable look at Cap. In particular, Cap is my favorite character out of this, although a lot of the heroes just being a part of the American Revolution. And that's a lot of fun, a really interesting concept. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 8.5 out of 10. Next up for our Marvel list this week, we have got... next up for our Marvel list this week, we have got Venom 255. This is number 3 of the Death Spiral event, continuing on from the Amazing Spider-Man issue. And in this, we get a decent amount of interactions between Peter and VenMJ. And eventually they come across Carnage, and that is when they learn that Carnage is, in fact, Eddie Brock, and no longer Cletus Cassidy. And overall, I thought this was quite a good issue. I actually think I should have ranked this one higher. This one ranks higher than 1776. Number 5, in my opinion, actually. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9 out of 10. Next up for Marvel, we have got Spider-Man Meals to Astonish. This was a nice little one-shot story here, just featuring a lot of food-related stories and, like, stuff about, as a former chef, for a fairly high-class establishment, this was really fun to watch, like, to read, to get to... One, we got, I know, it guest stars a few different, like, actual famous chefs, most from the New York area. It shouts out a bunch of various interesting food locations, not just from New York, but, like, plenty of other places as well. And overall, I just thought it was a really fun issue. It kind of, like, it put a smile on my face reading, and part of that, I'm sure, is because I am somebody who loves food and loves cooking and is very much, like, into chef culture. So it was kind of meant for me. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10. Next for Marvel, we have got The End 2099. This was issue number 4. And in this issue, long story short, we basically find out that that Mephisto is sending the characters that he has tricked Abistius into believing are dead into the negative zone to try and get the ultimate nullifier so they can use that on Abistius. Overall, thought it was a good issue, really setting up for issue number 5. Gonna go ahead and give this one a 7.5 out of 10. And finally, rounding out the list for Marvel is going to go to Doctor Strange, issue number 4. This is still good. I just feel like I'm still not being as gravitated towards the Asgardian side of the story, and I'm just more over every issue just waiting for Doc Strange to figure out a way home. But overall, the action in this issue is pretty good. The fights in this are pretty cool. The coloring and the art in this is really good. The story is just not necessarily everything that I want it to be. I've got to look. If this is only going to be a 5-issue miniseries, then I'm going to finish it off. If this is an ongoing, I might drop this here because it's just not quite my cup of tea. But it was still good. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.5 out of 10. That is it for the Marvel list. Now, let's go to the top of the list for DC. And DC here has got another 10 out of 10 book. And you already know, anybody who's watched this channel, you know what it is. It's Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman is absolutely phenomenal, as always. I adore this story. I love what they have done with Bruce. And I think this issue in particular is one of their best done issues. I think this is the best issue since the end of the Bane arc, for sure. This, number one, Bruce defeats Poison Ivy in this issue, but he does so in a way where he gets her to surrender, and then he still does the thing that she surrendered to stop him from doing, destroying her human heart, the only thing left of her that was actually human still. Bruce destroys it, and we also learn some very interesting revelations about Miss Martha Wayne in this universe. We learn not only was she Talon, she was their best Talon they've ever had in the Court of Owls. And it's kind of implied that the Court of Owls kills her at the end of this issue, but I definitely do not believe, since we did not see a body, that she's actually dead. I'm sure next issue it's going to be revealed that, like, they shot one of the other Court of Owl members who turned out to be a spy, or something else, that they did not shoot her. But overall, it ends with Batman basically cutting ties with his friends and his mom, and choosing to basically pour himself exclusively into being Batman. And I love that. I love to see where this is going. I don't know if I said this was issue 18. I think I said it was 17, but it is 18. But I loved that. I loved the art for this issue. I thought there was just so much art, especially when it comes to Ivy herself. She was just really well colored. They really just packed in all of the art in this story in such a phenomenal way that I love, especially the coloring. It's just so well done, but the story in this is just great. I've got to give this a 10 out of 10. This was so good. Such a fun read. Next up for DC, we have got Absolute Green Lantern. This is issue number 12. And let me tell you, this story is good. I enjoy this quite a bit. We get a little bit more of Joe Mullen's character throughout the course of things. We get a little bit more info about her. We get to see them taking on this creature that is being controlled by Victor Hammond. And they beat the creature and free a person that was trapped inside of the creature, and they do so by having Hal Jordan utilize the power of love, which is interesting. If they're going to make Hal Jordan a Star Sapphire in this, that'd be quite cool. And then they save them, and then they go outside and realize that the Green Lantern, or the ship or whatever that landed on their city, is now just outside floating around. And as it turns out, it is a weapon. It's a gun. And Tomar Ray says that he's going to go use it to kill Mogo. What? Holy crap, I'm excited for this next story arc. Wow, that is such a crazy cliffhanger. Another 10 out of 10 for DC this week. Absolutely phenomenal issue. Next up on the list for DC, Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes. This was issue number 4. I cannot really show you a lot of the art from this story. Actually, I can show you this one because they are fully clothed in this one. They spend a lot of this issue naked. And they don't show anything, but they show enough that I don't know that I could put it here on YouTube, and I'm not willing to risk it. But just know it was, it was a good issue. It definitely had plot, for sure. But in all seriousness, though, I've been enjoying this. It's a very nice, like, wholesome little romance story between Harley and Ivy. And the end of this introduces us to Harley's mom, or at least her adopted mother, her adopted ma. And I'm really excited to see that character and see where this continues to go. This story's been a lot of fun. Again, this issue was kind of a, this issue, there was a lot of nudity in this issue, which for some people will probably hate that. Other people might be the only reason you're buying it. And I will tell you, if the only reason you're buying it is for the nudity, you're probably not gonna love it, to be honest, because, like, there's plenty, but it's mostly implied nudity. Like, they don't really show a whole lot. No, like, bits or anything, obviously. So, like, you're gonna be disappointed if that's what you wanted. But if you're actually going for a good, like, romance story with a lot of heart and soul, which is kind of what I've been reading it for, basically if you've been keeping up with the first 2 issues and you didn't buy it just because of the cover alone, you're probably going to enjoy this quite a bit. I know I did. I've been enjoying it. I can't wait to see where issue 5 goes. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10. And rounding out the DC list this week is going to go to Aquaman, issue number 15, The Emperor Aquaman. And as much as I usually don't enjoy, I haven't been enjoying Aquaman for a while, but I enjoyed all of his tie-in stuff, and then I'm reading this, and this was good, so I might go back and pick up the first, like, 12 issues of Aquaman that I didn't read from this run, because this is good so far. This is quite an enjoyable story. I have no complaints at all. Aquaman is written very fun. The start of it is quite interesting with, like, these 2 versions of Aquaman. And then there's a 3rd version of Aquaman, and they, like, all unite to become Emperor Aquaman. And he basically decides that now that they, via the blue, are connected not just to all of Earth's oceans, but every ocean in the universe, Aquaman has decided that he's no longer policing just the oceans of Earth, but the oceans of every world in the universe. And I'm really excited to see where that is going to go. Can't wait to pick up the next issue and just see where this story arc decides to take us. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed this. And that is going to be it for this week's weekly comic book review show. If you enjoyed this video at any point, please drop a like, comment, or subscribe. Any kind of feedback or commentary you can leave this channel is always greatly appreciated. I've recently hit 46 subscribers, so I am well on my way to my 100 subscriber goal by the end of the year. So I want to take this time to sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank anybody who has helped contribute to me getting further towards that goal. If you've watched this channel at any point and you went, this content's all right, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to that. That it means the absolute world to me. I apologize for the lack of Top Tuesdays, or they're no longer Top Tuesdays, but my comic book countdowns. I know I was supposed to get those out this month. I have failed. It's just been a very busy month for me, both at work and home, so that's why I've been down to 2 videos a week instead of our usual 3. But I promise you I'm going to be trying to get back to 3 videos a week very shortly, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll have a 3rd this week, but I don't want to guarantee or promise anything until you see 3 videos a week return. Assume that it's going to be 2 videos a week, but I do promise that the 3 videos a week will be returning as soon as I can. So with that being said, I want to just thank you again for checking out this video. I hope you check out my I hope you check out my channel for more comic book content to come. With that being said, I will see you in my next video. Have yourself a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and I am out of here.